Okay, so now I'm off on my own to the haunted well. I might not be saying that in 5 minutes time when I'm walking up there on my own, but like I said last week, it's probably me the one who'll be legging it. But here we go, onwards and upwards. Blah. Okay, there we go. I'll probably get lost me anyway. Okay, let's have a wander. Where are we going? What's this? Oh, it involves steps and oh god, oh shit. I'm a bit, I don't know. I'm not going in the right direction. This is supposedly the haunted well. I'll try and not be an idiot and camera it like I did the other week. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Shit, it's open. Oh my god. It's not locked. It's like somebody. Oh, where is it? That's weird. Okay. Has anybody got any messages for me? As well. Okay. Oh.
Yes, I'm listening.
Are you listening? Okay. Right. Who are you? What's your name? Who are you? What's your name?
I will talk to you.
I know you will, but who are you? You need to give me a name.
It's about to begin.
What's about to begin?
You're making a mistake.
I'm not. I know, I'll turn it off now.
Okay guys, so that's what happened to us last year when we were up here in the summertime. So we've come back to the exact spot, Tockholes Wellhead house, and we're gonna carry on doing solo vigils, listening out for any Dogman sounds. And it's exactly the same time, between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. as we were here the last time when we picked up those shocking animal noises, and we don't know what they are. So we're going to go now to do solo vigils, and we'll just see what we get tonight. Okay, so come with us. So I'm going to go do a little watch and wait over here. So briefly, the history of this place. It's called Hollinshead Hall, and it did go abandoned about 150 years ago. It was a private house, and now it's just in ruins. But there's a lot of people, YouTubers, coming up here at the present minute to do like Dogman stuff and cryptoid stuff. So a lot of people are having a lot of weird experiences up here. So I'll just show you a little bit of this part of it, and we're going to do a little what I call watch and wait, which is like we'll sit and film and listen, because we heard those noises on the road at the back of the well house where Andy's headed to right now. But this whole place is just one abandoned building, like ruins. But around this area there's a lot of disused mine shafts and tunnels. So we're thinking possibly that any cryptoid or Dogman or anything else that's living up here could possibly make use of those tunnels for shelter. So when we picked up the shocking noises, that was during the summertime. It was like last July. It was warm, so I'm thinking that perhaps the weather conditions might have some part to play in whether, any cryptoid or dog person or anything like that is going to come out. But it all depends, I guess, if is Dogman an animal or is Dogman a cryptoid? And if so, then it doesn't matter what the weather conditions are like, I suppose, for a cryptoid thing. But animals obviously will hibernate in winter and come out more in summer. So we still have a question mark hanging over that belief that is this Dogman werewolf type thing that's being seen all over the British Isles as far up as Scotland. Is it an animal, or is it some sort of a cryptoid thing? Lots of people, lots of credible YouTubers are out there right now following up this case, and if you find unusual footprint or you hear an unusual noise in a certain area, then it's worth going back to investigate. So what happened on that particular night, me and Andy had come up here to do a paranormal on this abandoned Hollinshead Hall and on the well house. So we hadn't got cryptoid in mind at all, you know. And then Andy picked up those noises. So we just felt we just had to get up here and investigate separately, you know, the Dogman thing. Because until then, I was a bit sceptical about it, but I think it's like UFOs and like ghosts and everything else paranormal, that if you don't see it or hear it, you're a bit sceptical until you have some proof and some evidence. And I think when you have an experience, then you start to change your belief and your thoughts on certain things. Alright, we'll head back to the entry of the woods. These posts are sort of the entry into the Stockholm woods. And I think if we sit and watch and wait a little, and see if we hear any unusual sounds. Anything really, like if it any footpad steps or you know, any twig branches snapping, things like that. Which we did come up again on the second vigil, and we went separate, and I heard a very heavy twig branch from up here. But you can't rule out, you know, deer moving about. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here for a bit and then we'll see if we hear anything unusual. I can't even ask out. We was talking about this the last time we did the Dogman thing. It's not like you can ask out. It's not like you can ask out and say, would you like to come forward and show yourself? Because it's not that kind of thing. Like when you're doing paranormal, haunted houses and things, you can ask out, can you come forward and use the equipment? But with this, what do? So do we like put some doggy snacks about? I'm thinking Dogman might want more than a little bit of a few doggy chews. So what do? Summertime, do we come up here and cook some steaks off and leave them dotted around and see what happens? I think we need to try different experiments, to be honest. I think we're going to have to come up here in any other areas where there have been sightings and just literally do an all-night investigation and just do some different experiments and see if we can entice Dogman to come out of the woods, come forward. Because we could probably cook steaks, leave them, go off, come back and see if those steaks have gone. I mean, alright, deers are going to come along, but if we leave a camera, then perhaps we can catch something. But now it's the middle of winter. We'll just listen for a few minutes and see if, we hear anything strange. It is meant to be haunted up here too, but we're not actually doing the paranormal. Well, we weren't going to do the paranormal tonight. So Andy's gone up to the well house to tell his story of what happened to him last time up there, last summertime, in the middle of the night. And he'd gone up there to shoot paranormal solo vigil. And we heard these, it sounded like mad dogs barking to me, to begin with. So I was down at the derelict sort of house bit, and I just switched everything off and sat down, and I was listening to these. It sounded like somebody walking along the path with two wild dogs. That's what it sounded like. Bearing in mind it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking, who's walking along here with wild dogs at this time? And then I thought, alright, maybe they're doing some hunting at night time or whatever. And Andy was hearing the same thing, and he came running down to meet me, and he picked it up on camera, the sound, and it seemed to be coming from the road. And that's the road on there where that car's going by now. Maybe you can catch the headlights. And that's where we heard the shrieking noise was coming from there. But what was strange about it is, if you hear, you've probably heard it on the first part of this video from last summer, it was like shrieking howls too, one and then another and one and answering back, and they got closer and closer and then it stopped. But what happened that night, we stayed for an extra 30 minutes, we switched everything off, the torches, everything, and we just sat, and those noises went on for a good 20 minutes, and we was very scared, we was very frightened, and we didn't want to draw attention to ourselves, so we switched everything off and sat quiet and listened until it faded. And then we plucked up the courage and carried on. So all in all, it was a very bizarre experience. Not seeing any Dogman, but we heard those sounds, and I have no idea what those sounds are. But they really were freaky in the middle of a night in the dark woods, with no lighting, at an abandoned hall. It reminded me of like the Wolfman movie. You know, it was kind of like that. It's raining a bit tonight, guys, so if you hear any of that, that's just rain. Just going around that way, the gate posts over there. So this was all like entrances to the hall when it was a house. It was someone's house originally. Yeah, so we have been up here doing a lot of paranormal and stuff. That was really the purpose why we were here. And we got a little bit more than we bargained for that night. Okay, so we're going to set off on... I'm going to head up now towards the well house. And Andy's going to come down. We're splitting it into 3 areas. It's raining and we've not got anything here, not in this shoot anyway, so let's progress to the next bit and see what we get, if we get anything at all. Like I say, there's tunnels around here. There's big drainage tunnels, but there's also like disused mine shafts and things. So, you know, if it's raining, and it's possible that if there is Dogman, he's going to be sheltering. So we're going to have to come up different seasons, and we're going to have to come up not just this area, but other places around Winter Hill where Dogman's been reported. I'll show you a little bit more of the derelict hall before we head up there. So this is the main entrance to what was the original house. But we're going to come back and do this bit separately, so we'll head on up to the well house and see what we get up there.
Okay, so I'm going to go up to the well house. I'll do my best to try and recreate what was on the time I came up here with those noises. Yeah, if we get the same thing, I'm going to grip my teeth and carry on filming so I can get the full story. Yeah, it was quite scary. I'm going to go back up there and see what happened. And join me on the journey. Okay. If I don't fall, which I'm going to do, I can't find it. It is going a bit misty up here as well, I think. So, yeah, it is. I have set up some lights up there already, so it should be, but that was weird last time. I mean, I did at first think it was a dog, but as I was walking down, and yeah, it was, I don't know, it started getting weird noises, so we'll see, and I'll give it a whirl. If I don't fall over. which I probably normally do. It's lit up in here anyway, but we've already put these up. So, we will see. A couple of things we'll try. But here we are, back in the well house again. Bit more light in here. Oh yeah. Right, atmospheric in here. I must admit. My favourite toy, the cat ball. Shouldn't really make any difference to it, but I'll try and recreate what happened last time, because I wanted spirit soccer on. I'll try to. I had the spirit soccer on. I mean, people probably know this. I had the spirit soccer on. I'll tell you the story. I had the spirit soccer on, and I was getting a few things through, and I went outside, and the first words were, "It's about to begin." And I was like, what? And as I walked down, it was weird. And looking back on it, I can't explain what it was. I can't. So, let's try and recreate what happened that night. So, but I love thermal imaging, so if I get any noises outside, I can have a look, but it's a bit very quiet, very, very quiet here. I've got this, plunger. I can find it in my pocket.
You heard me.
Oh, I did last time, don't you worry, I did hear you. That's all. Now, there shouldn't be any heat source. Which there isn't. Not sure there's any heat sources in here.
Compassion.
That's interesting, because there shouldn't be any heat. There's heat in here. What the hell is that? That's picking that up on the camera. That's heat. Now, the red is heat, and as you can see, what the hell is that? What the hell is that heat source? It's like a figure, isn't it? That's weird. Right, because to be honest with you, I shouldn't be getting any, what? Death, compassion. torchlight, that'll be Alison. So that's Alison. But I shouldn't be getting any. I'll get that back out and I'll have a look to see whether either of them have gone off. Book. Now last time I came here I had that with Book. And if that starts, it's about to begin again when I come down here. So let's have a look again. If I get anything that's not, I will. But I can't see a thing now. No, that's funny. I'm not picking any heat sources up here. Yeah, I was in there. Oh, that's interesting thing to say. Can't see anything. That's interesting. God, I do not know what that heat source is. Yeah, that's gone now. No, it's there. That's... Can't even be my torch. That's weird. That's just weird. I mean...
You are important.
Oh, I am. I probably am. But yeah, I mean... It is very quiet in here. But there should be no heat source. I can't see anything that's giving off a heat source in here. You know, that's strange. I can't hear anything. And how do you talk to these things? But there's been too many sightings, too many people have seen and heard stuff for there not to be something in it. And you just wonder what is going on.
You are hopeful.
Oh, I am hopeful. Well, I don't know how I'd react if I heard something the same as I did last time. On that bit that we just showed you, because I was genuinely scared on that one. I was genuinely scared because it was a case of I don't know what to do. I genuinely didn't know what to do. So, but yeah, it was a bit mad, but yeah. I still don't know what that heat source was though. But anyway, I'm going to continue down there and I'm going to move on to another bit now.
Okay, so we're going to take a walk through the woods together, listening out for any sounds. Andy's going to run some wolf howls. Heading deep into the woods, so we're going to just listen out and see if we can pick up any strange sounds. Oh, an owl. See, this is why I like being out at this time of night, because you're going to get the other animal sounds coming as well, which is cool.
The thing is, you don't get owls though, do you? And you think,
It all depends, I think, what the weather's like for them.
that's what gets me on top of them. You never get any, you never hear any birds.
Didn't hear any there, no.
You don't hear any. You know, that's what makes...
Oh look, we've still got snowmen from Christmas time. He looks like a gingerbread man, doesn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
looks a bit weird.
We're looking for Dogman tonight, not snowmen. So let's just get on down into the woods. You'll hear the stream now as we pick up pace into the woods, guys.
It always makes me wonder though, that time you were going to walk through here.
Yeah, we heard a groan, didn't we?
And we heard that.
In fact, we'll show you. I'll tell you what, I've just had an idea. Why don't you run the wolf howls when we get to the part where we picked up the groan?
It was just on corner down here.
Yeah, so
That was...
it was 3 a.m, wasn't it? Again, I was telling the guys, I've mentioned to the guys before about between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. how it's the most paranormal time, I think, personally. We've had most activity around 3 a.m, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we was down this neck of the woods one night, 3 a.m, and we heard this, it was like an animal groan, weren't it? Go on, can you do the groan, Andy?
It's like a...
Yeah, and we heard that down here, so what we'll do is...
Because if you ever remember, we were going to cut through, weren't
Yeah.
we? Yeah. We didn't come in car.
No,
We were going to cut through. And we got down to that corner and we heard that and we were like,
we turned back.
yeah, what is it?
Yeah, we turned back.
We turned back and went the long way.
I think we'd come out that night to do the bat detecting thing, hadn't we? So that mad bloke who was running the bat detection with the bat sensors, and he had that glass frame, didn't he, with all them flipping flattened bats pinned to it. And he was giving us this speech on bats. So we'd come out looking for bats that night, and then we'd lingered about in the woods, hadn't we?
Yeah.
I think we lingered a bit too long, because at 3 a.m. we got that almighty animal groan, and I tell you what, we legged it, but we legged it on the main road. We didn't go through the woods. We went, didn't we? We hot-footed it. We hot-footed it in the opposite direction that night. So what we'll do is, let's get down to that bend where we heard that animal groan, and then we'll run wolf howls and see if we get anything. Because I think sometimes you need to put a little bit of sound out in order to get something like back. So it's now 4 a.m, guys, so it's a little later than we were last time, but yeah, we got a really scary animal groan. It was a cross between an animal and a man in pain, weren't it, really? I'm quite sure what to make of it.
When you're making through and you're thinking you've got to walk through here, you're like very, very good.
Yeah, very. Because I think if you heard that during the day, you'd probably not think much of it, you'd just carry straight on, but or maybe you look round to see if anyone had hurt himself. But at night, everything takes on a whole different feeling, doesn't it? Everything's so paranormal at the night time, I think. Well, you've got to be out at these hours to catch stuff. Right, so this is where we heard that night. Roughly around here, went it under the groan. So Andy's going to do us some wolf howls. And let's see if we get anything responding. It's worth stopping and listening out anyway for a minute or so. Just in case there's anything lurking in the trees or down by the stream.
I do apologise for the technical hiccup.
It's what you call dementia, and it's at very early stages. Let's keep an eye out for eye shine and stuff. because deer's eye shine is really bright. It's like two white torches. Picked it up at Rivington, didn't we? And we followed it, and it was a young stag. So I think sometimes, always when it's dark, I just have a quick glance about and see if there's any eye shine. Deers are very curious. They'll come and have a look at what you're doing, but they'll keep quiet about it.
You start listening to this and then you start freaking out.
Well, we're in the right environment for it anyway. That's rain in the trees, guys. That's not Dogman coming through or anything like that. But then again, you never know.
Probably got a couple walking up this way and suddenly leg it back now.
Maybe that's what happened to us that night. Maybe someone else was rolling Dogman noises. Oh, something flashed over there then. Like a white flash. Well, like an orb flash, I'm thinking, more than anything. Yeah, just as I turned, I've got the camera off you and faced that way, I saw a white flash. Now, remember when we did the Dogman thing? Well, we weren't doing the Dogman thing, we was doing the paranormal at the haunted well, and we got a flash of light in the trees.
Yeah.
And you thought it was a white owl, and then after that, we got the dog sounds, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean...
So now I always look out for a flash of white light, because I begin to wonder sometimes if Dogman isn't more of a
I think what it was... when
supernatural stroke UFO kind of being rather than a creature.
We both saw that light, and then I thought, well, our torches are down on the floor.
Yeah.
And then something shot out like a bird, but I didn't hear it.
No.
There was no noise to it.
But there was definitely a white flash in the trees, because we both looked up and said, whose torch is that? And we had our head torches off. And we had no flashlights, we only had our hand torches, which were facing downwards.
But something shot out.
Yeah, something did.
I thought it was an owl, but it didn't make it. You know, you'd have expected to hear it flapping or something like that.
Yeah.
Or rustling out of the trees. But there was no... You would have expected, if a torch had gone in the tree, you'd have heard it move, you'd have heard it fly, you'd have heard it flapping, but it was like just quiet. It just shot into the distance, but it was quiet. But our torch, the hand torches were on the floor.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the same. It was strange. And then not long after that, I went up to that well house and got them.
Which is the beginning of this video, the shocking dog noise footage.
I don't know.
Which we only recorded 6 minutes of it, and there was in total about 20, weren't there? But we cut it short because we wanted to get the equipment off and get back to base, and then we were safe because...
It's typical when you're doing these sort of things.
No, we let it roll.
The stuff that you think, oh God, but...
We were scared, Andy, that's why we switched everything off.
But the thing was, at the time, we were... And when I heard that, when I was walking down and I heard that, what it said, you're making a big mistake, and I come down and I heard it, it changed from being like a dog to like,
yeah.
And a dog bark is like, woof, 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 but it was like, it was I know that sounds weird, but it was continuous. And yeah, now we would have probably kept the camera rolling, turned the torch off and kept the camera rolling, but at the time it was like we hadn't a clue what it was, and it's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning and you're thinking there's no torchlight, there's no dog, there's no nothing. And like I said before, that you couldn't walk down there without a torch on. And then when you get it, there's another one in the distance over the main road that's calling back to it. You're like, what the hell is this? And you're like, but the only way for us to get back and get away from here is we'd have had to, no matter what, go towards it. And that was like, we have no idea what this is. It was quite, yeah.
Okay guys, so this is the well house. Oh god, it's always so deep with water around here. So this is supposedly haunted in here. So let's just we'll sit and have a look around. When I finish dropping the torches. And just listen out, see if we get any strange noises up here. Oh, this torch is on the blink. Why? Probably because I've just dropped it on the floor. That probably doesn't help matters much. Yeah, so this is... Oh, no, it's come back on. Weird torch. Yeah, this is... This was the well attached to Hollinshead Hall. So it would have been like a really prestigious thing to have in your home in them days. You know, like you get your spa hotels now, where they've got like luxurious spa surroundings. So this was like the Victorian spa. It was all like ornate. There would have been pure water coming down, like some of it still is trickling down. They would have come in here for like therapeutic purposes. You know, like relaxation, and because in the Victorian days they used to go to Bath in the south of England near Bristol for like spa days or spa breaks. There were a few different places in England where people went for spa. So Bath was one of the spa cities where in the Victorian times people would go for a few weeks and take the waters, you know, and then they'd go to fancy dinners and ballroom parties in the evenings. Harrogate was also another spa. Anything that says spa at the end of it, like Leamington Spa. Some families, if they have money, like these obviously must have had in those days, would build their own mini spa. So it's kind of like us having our own hot tub, you know, whatever, put into our houses or in the gardens nowadays. It's the same kind of, you know, prestige thing, kind of relaxation thing. But this well is supposedly haunted, but like I said, we're not doing the paranormal thing tonight. Concentrating on Dogman. So would Dogman come in here and shelter? We should check the door for scratches. See if there's any unusual scratches on the door. You know, maybe... I think the last time I checked this door, I found some really old graffiti on it. Let's see if we can find that. Was it this door? You see, yeah, there it is, look. Let's get the light on it for you. 1948. And JL initials. JL and WL. 1948. Let's see if there's any more scratches on the door or anything like that. Yeah, so that's quite strange actually, because I know me and Andy once did a paranormal up here, and we picked up a couple. It says DL, JL and WL in it, so they must have been a family. We picked up on a couple coming up here for picnics in like a sports car. I'm wondering if that's them that have put their initials on the door there. Because I only found them initials when we were doing the Dogman thing. I came to check if there were any scratches on the door. And then I spotted them initials up there. But I always think it's good when they put the year in. A few places we've been to recently have found some like really old graffiti and stuff. So that's pretty good, that. Tells you how long that people have been coming up here. So when you're looking for ghosts, you know, they don't have to go way back 200 years. You can have recent ones. You can literally have the ghost of anybody that's like kind of passed away. So it doesn't necessarily have to be. Some people have been doing some other stuff here. I'm just looking at what's been left, candles and stones and things. It's always interesting to see what other paranormal groups are doing, what their approach is. There's been a lot of people up here doing paranormal. It's very, it's one of them places where you can just get it to yourself in the middle of the night. So I sometimes wonder, would a dogman or a werewolf or whatever this creature is lurking around these parts, would it come up here for shelter? It does remind me very much of Wolf Hall, you know, from the film. And I sometimes wonder if there's not some kind of a lycanthropy story gone on here to make this place become abandoned and derelict. Because you know, in like the Wolfman movie, the peasants set fire to the house, don't they, and burn it to the ground to get rid of it. And with that place being abandoned, I can't help but feel, has there been some kind of local werewolf lycanthropy type thing gone on up here, and they wanted to get rid of the whole building? Because some things don't get documented in history. Some things they prefer, you know, they don't tell you about it because it's too scandalous to know about. A lot of it doesn't get properly documented. And some of it only gets like briefly documented. It's like the Pendle Witches, the trial. Whatever went to court is documented and all the evidence they gave is documented, but nothing else is. And it would make you wonder if something happened up here where the peasants, the local villagers, took it in their own hands and decided, let's burn that hole down because there's a werewolf living there, like the movie. That wouldn't be documented, so unless you hear local rumours and gossip and legends passed down, then we're not going to know really what has happened to this hall. I mean, I guess some subscribers might go on and research and let me know. And I'm always very grateful for that. We have, especially Kez, who keeps in regular contact with us, who researches the places that we've been to and lets us know if she finds anything out that's worth knowing. And we do appreciate, if anybody has any information, because literally we just pick up our cameras and go. We're not historians. We're not professional paranormal people by any standards, but we just pick up our cameras and go and just see what we find and investigate as best we can with what we have. What would it be like now, though, if there was a pair of eyes peering through there? Because they've been reported for centuries, these wolfmen, these dogmen, these two-legged creatures. This is the kind of place that they would be attracted to, I do think. We'll just keep quiet for a minute, just in case, you do hear anything. There's the road back there with the odd car going along, but it's like 2:30 a.m. now, so it's not going to be too busy. We try and do our paranormals at 3 a.m. because we've found, we're doing different locations, that 3 a.m. tends to be the most paranormal time for us. We've got our best, stuff happening at 3 a.m. There's something about 3 a.m. that's significant to the paranormal world now. I've spoken to one or two nurses and they think it's because between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. the body has a natural dip. That's when you're likely to be into your deepest sleep. And it's also likely when people will pass away, if they're going to be, on the last legs, to put it in a better way. If you're expecting a person to pass, they're more likely to pass between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. when the body just goes into a natural dip. So I'm wondering if is 3 a.m. the paranormal hour because for that reason it's right in the middle of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. when the body goes into its natural date, but more people are likely to pass over. It's only a thought, it's only a theory, and I'm throwing it out there, but it's just something to bear in mind. Everyone thinks midnight, but for me, for us, it's like that's when it just starts warming up, and the paranormal for me is about 2 till 4, really. That's when we had our best stuff happening. We haven't caught obviously everything on camera because sometimes we've packed in and then we've had stuff's happened, or sometimes we've been in a hotel that's haunted and we've just got our heads down and then something happens, so you can't really say. However, let us head back down to the derelict hall and see if we can get anything around that area. So come with us.
So now I've come back down to the, what used to be the Hollinshead Hall bit. See if we get anything. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. But I'm gonna have a scout round here now anyway, so I'll see what happens down here. Okay. So this is what used to be what we call Hollinshead Hall. Trying to find a decent place where I can rest the stuff. I'll put them on here. Yeah. So try some here. Yeah. Got a couple of cat balls out and one more there. But yeah, it's a bit mad. We'll put one out on there, the old cat ball. That one there. And that one there, as you can see. That's the cat ball splashing. I might try a bit of radio actually. See what we get on here. But yeah, if they flash, then we know there's something about around here. But yeah, no, it's very, very dark. It's extremely dark tonight. It's extremely dark. I've got light up there as well. There's some put on the bench. Is there anybody here who'd like to talk to us? Anybody from the hall? Or anybody like that? Anybody who'd like to talk to us? Let's try a bit of... I'm going to try a bit of spirit talker on it. See what happens here. See what we get anything. But it just gives you an idea of how dark it is down here. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. It's sometimes a bit difficult when you're trying to do stuff on your own because you're in your pockets for stuff and it's but it just seems extremely dark down here tonight. I don't know why. It just seems very dark. Who knows? You can hear cars. There is a road up there. There is a bit of a road up there, so get the old. Spirit talker, right?
S box.
Is there anybody who would like to talk to us? You're an angel? Demons the ones they were?
Journalist.
Is there anybody who would like to talk to us? Anybody in this old Hollinshead Hall? Can you tell me why you're still here? Have you ever the sightings of this so-called wolf, Dogman? And if there's anybody who's watching and picks up anything I don't, please leave a comment. Because sometimes I don't always hear. Is anybody here? Anybody here who'd like to talk to us?
Like that.
It's like that. There's one, isn't it?
He's author.
What the hell was that? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it freaks out now. Cat ball's just gone off. Cat ball. Oh god, cat ball's just gone off. Can you do that again? Oh god. No, well, stop that lot. I heard footsteps behind me. And I'm like, Alison's way over there. I'm a bit freaked out now. Can you do that again? Can you make that ball light up again? I wonder what's over here, wasn't it? Oh. I kid you not, I definitely heard footsteps. I heard footsteps. It was as though somebody was behind me. That's why I turned the radio off. I genuinely thought somebody was coming up. And there's nobody here. There's nobody here. But that cat ball went off. The other one hasn't gone off. But yeah. That was this is a strange it's there's more here than meets the eye to me. I mean, I know you can't see a lot, but this is how dark it is. Yeah. But like I say, I genuinely heard I heard feet behind me. I like running feet behind me. Running feet behind me, and then the cat ball went off. It's put me on a bit of edge a bit now. And there's nobody. Because I'm not being funny, but you couldn't come down here without a torch. So, and that was the thing with last time when we got what we got. There was no torches, there was nobody shouting. Yeah, that was, oh God, that's it actually made me a bit jumpy, that. Yeah, that's freaky. Freaky. But yeah, I mean, mad. I mean, on that spirit talk, I thought I heard demons or something, and then I did get an angels, but that was mad. All I could think of then was, what if this blasted thing's roaming round? I mean, what would you do? What would you do? You know? Right. I'm going to move on to another part now. Yeah, I'm a bit jumpy down here, so I'm going to move on to the next bit. Oh dear. That made me jump.
Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to run thermal imager, see if we pick up any figures or any heat sources going through these woods. So Andy's got thermal imager set up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye out
see the outline of it.
Yeah.
Oh, by that, there should be absolutely no heat sources on here.
Okay. I'll continue to listen out for any unusual sounds. See if we see anything there. Shit. It's so flipping swampy underfoot. Everywhere you go, your foot goes down in about 10 inches of mud. I'm moving over there. Right. I'll step out of the way because if you pick me up, then you're going to get a heat source.
No, that you mean you can definitely see it's you on it because it outlines your figure.
I'm going to film around in the dark, guys, because you never know if you're going to get.
Pick anything up,
Never know if you're going to get like a flash orb. I'm not really talking about a ghost one. I'm talking more about that night we were out filming up in the trees. There was a flashy orb, like a streak of white light come down, and we thought it was an owl, but it just disappeared and there was no bird come out of the tree. So really? Oh yeah, you have.
Oh, like I said before.
I'll have to come round that side.
That looks like somebody lying down, doesn't it?
Really? Oh, it was like someone asleep over there.
What?
On the other side of the bank?
Right in front of me,
The stream?
yeah. That's heat.
Yeah, it is heat, but I'm going to get heat from the stream. Let me come on this side, there's too much swamp going on here. It's coming from that embankment over there. Hello? I don't know why we're getting a heat source unless It's warmer because if it's peat over there or whatever, then perhaps...
The water should be cold as well.
Yeah, the water's freezing cold.
There shouldn't be any heat at all.
Yeah, there was a heat source. Are they gone now, that heat source? They come around. Can you step to this side, please? Because I'm not going down a swamp again. Over here, please. Yeah, it's definitely a heat source. That's weird. There shouldn't be one, should there?
Yeah.
Just let me grab a couple of torches and film round just in case there's anything. Just a quick look round, make sure there's nothing. I'm just wondering if there's a deer or something. Like, you see something? Well, it's that embankment over there.
It's there.
So it must be warmer on that side for some reason.
Not that's genuinely hot heat.
Yeah. That's unusual.
What?
I can't explain that. But there's nothing there, we can't see anything. So there's no animal as far as there's no eye shine or anything. They can't.
Nobody there.
And if it was a deer, it would have shot off by now. It wouldn't have stayed. It would have run off by now, the deer.
But it's like here.
Yeah.
It's this here.
There's only branches, but they won't be warm, will
There's
they?
nothing. It's cold.
I don't understand why that's coming up like that then.
It's just like right in front of me there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Right in front there.
I don't know where it is because there's nothing. There's only branches lying down.
It's getting bigger. Wherever it is.
Yeah,
Getting warmer.
You see, this is it. You sometimes wonder if something materialises. Would it, you know, like we're saying Dogman might be something that can materialise rather than...
What, I mean, I've heard people go, I'm picking something up on the heat source and we can't see anything. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea, but it's a cold embankment by the stream, and the only thing that's lying there is a couple of branches, so they can't be warm because, well, why would they be warm? I don't know why that's warm over there. I can't explain that at all. Is it paranormal, or is it just that the land, the ground is warmer for some reason?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
I mean, whatever it is invisible. If it was the embankment, I'd be getting it all along.
Yeah.
It's constant. Right in front of me here.
Yeah, it is.
But like we've had when people have been doing in America, they've had where they've caught heat sources. I mean, there's nothing to. I mean, that.
I know, I don't get it. I don't understand why it's showing.
Well,
like,
it's not. It's like it's moving, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is, actually. Does it look like it's walking? Because this is the thing, if there is something walking there, we're not seeing it with our eyes, so is it in another dimension?
There should be no, but there should be no heat.
But when we talk about Dogman and Bigfoot and stuff like that, it just materialises.
But that is giving off as much heat as... It's actually the same as your face.
Really? So it's that kind of... So we're talking 37 degrees then, body temperature. So how... Yeah, no, it's not anywhere else, is it?
I'm not picking up any other heat sources anywhere. I'm not picking up any other heat.
No.
I mean that...
It's just there, isn't it? Which is really odd because there's nothing there apart from an embankment and some trees and some fallen like pieces of log, but It's a cold stream. There's no animals, because the animals would have run by now. They wouldn't even be there if we'd have come down. Deers would have moved on. So, and it's still getting it, are you? But that looked like to me something with two legs walking for a minute.
Is it me or is it just moving?
Well, it looks like it's...
I can't.
No, it does actually. I think
I can't.
it does look like it's moving about.
Alright.
But we can't see anything.
You
So
got
what
it.
is it? It's supernatural, paranormal? Is it ghost? Is it cryptoid that we can't see? I mean, this is the thing. This is one of the things that I think about this cryptoid stuff. Are they able to just materialise?
See, can't be doing the camera would be talk, wouldn't it?
I do sometimes think that they can just materialise. You know, like...
What?
If we're talking more like a UFO kind of encounter, then they could just maybe materialise and we can't see them
I
with our
cannot
eyes.
explain that. There should be no heat
No, they shouldn't.
at all.
Yeah, just put it back, show it again. So just pan it back this way to show there's nothing. Should come back this way. Right, so there's nothing. Now go back round. And there's that. Now what is that? It's like a blob. It's like that movie, The Blob.
Yeah, but
There shouldn't be any heat over there because it's a cold embankment with the trees and... Now unless anyone can explain that, I'm at a loss. Really,
I'm at a loss.
I don't get that at all.
I mean, I can't even say that it's a tree giving off heat. I can't even say it's
Well,
tree.
trees are cold, really. I think they've got to be chopped open, haven't they, before you get in? I don't even know if they give off heat.
And it's
trees,
not even where the water runs through. It's just a solid embankment. I can't.
No, it's a very unusual, very odd. Oh well, that gives us another thought on the cryptoid, doesn't it? Okay guys, so we've just come down to the abandoned hall and I've just spoken with Andy and he's just had a really strange experience right here. He's just had feet running because there are some steps back here leading down to what was an old cellar, so I'll show you those steps. He had feet running and the cat ball started flashing. So we've left the cat ball set out and I'm just going to go around and investigate all the rooms because we did say we were going to do Dogman, but if something weird happens you always end up switching back to paranormal, so we'll keep one ear out for Dogman, our ears out for Dogman and our eyes out for ghosts. So I'm going to take you around this abandoned Hollinshead hall now and we've got the cat ball laid out ready and I'll show you where Andy heard the footsteps which appeared to be coming up from the cellar and he ran. It's not often he runs, so I think he's been pretty freaked out by that. So let's go and take a look. And let me get my head torch on. This is how dark it is, guys. I'll give you as best lighting as I can. These are the steps into what would have been like the main living room. You know, maybe lounge, whatever. Back in those days, they used to have like what you call a parlour, which is where they would have invited guests in for a cup of tea, piece of cake. When we did the murder house up at Chorley last year, they had a parlour and then they had a separate lounge. So the parlour, I'm guessing, was probably this here, and the cat ball, we've just set it up right there, so we'll keep an eye. If that goes off, then we've probably got a present. So I'll take you to where Andy just got the footsteps running. These are all small rooms, so I'm thinking these are like the bedrooms and stuff. Alright, so the steps are here. So this was originally a cellar. So we can go down there if you want. There's the steps here where Andy's just feet running. Now we weren't going to do paranormal really, I was going to just strictly keep this as Dogman tonight, but if any spirits would like to come forward whilst we're doing this Dogman investigation, you know, perhaps you had some experience yourself of Dogman in these parts. I really should be checking out for, you know, animal things really, like has any animals been sleeping here? Is there any footprints? You know, but really you do on a dark night get sidetracked into doing the paranormal. Especially when one of you freaks out and starts running because they've heard something or seen something. You can't help them but be a little bit vigilant on the paranormal side. So this was the cellar. I'm guessing they stored the cheeses and the wines and, you know, hams and anything they wanted to keep cool. Now these are the steps that Andy's just heard the feet running. He was at the top of these steps filming and he heard feet running and the cat ball started flashing, so he thinks he's just had a presence right here. The cat ball, it's over there, the cat ball. So when he came up here that started flashing, so he's thinking something ran up the cellar steps and past him. Okay, so let's just have a look around, because if I was a dog man, I'd be well looking forward to exploring these ruins and finding somewhere nice to shelter. This would have led out into the garden bit, because the steps going down into like a forest, like a, you know, a clearing where there might have been like a garden, or, you know, perhaps they grew their own fruit and veg and stuff. Or perhaps they had like, they put the washing line out and hung the washing up and all that out here. I mean, you never know, sometimes you can just be filming around doing something completely different and you get a voice coming on the camera, so I always welcome and invite spirits. If they want to talk to us, you know, they can do. Although we're not specifically doing the paranormal at the moment, you're welcome still to come forward and communicate if there's something you want to tell us, something you want to alert us to. Why did your hall become a derelict ruin? Did that have something to do with the Dogman, the critter that's been seen and heard up here? Seen by a handful of people and heard by us. Is that why you abandoned and moved? Was you frightened of your territory? Now this is a little door going into what used to be a kitchen. And if I remember, there's the remains of an old sink in here somewhere. It's a bit, oh there it is. It's a bit hard to find stuff in the dark sometimes, but yeah, there it is. That's an old sink. It's an old stone sink with the plug hole still in it, look. So this must have been like probably kitchen area. Let's go and check that cat ball and make sure that this isn't flashing. So you can still see the layout of the rooms, the doors are still there. So we're back in the parlour a bit now where we started out. Also around here as well, they've had a lot of UFO sightings. So in this particular area, you know, you can put it down as like a supernatural area, paranormal area, whatever you want to call it. Because that night when we were up here doing the ghost thing, earlier on we'd seen a flash in one of the trees, and we've actually filmed it actually, and I think we've put it down as Hollinshead Hall Part 1 and it's the paranormal. There was actually a white bright flash in one of those trees, and we both checked each other's head torches and we hadn't even got them on, so it can't be that. Our hand torches were held like downwards, but it was high up in the trees and it looked white, and Andy said, I think it's a white owl. But it was that night, about 30 minutes later, that we heard the Dogman shrieks, which leads me to think, is it more UFO? Is bringing Dogman here? It's the same like Bigfoot in America now, where they're finding a lot of orbs and then Bigfoot appears. Like they'll see an orb going behind a tree and then Bigfoot will step out at the other side of that tree. Is Bigfoot, you know, because how is it they're not finding any of these dead animal carcasses? How are we not finding wolfman carcasses, and how are we not finding Bigfoot carcasses? How are there no droppings or any remains or left behinds of animals? Like you see deer droppings and rabbit droppings all over the place in the country when you're out filming and what have you. You see the remains of where deer have been sleeping. You see, you know, what animals have been feeding. So how is it when it comes to Dogman and Bigfoot in the States, we don't get any of this evidence? Or has there been evidence and it gets swiftly cleared away by governments and, you know, Ministry of Defence people to stop us from researching and finding out the truth of what's going on really here? I'm more inclined to believe that Dogman and Bigfoot is possibly more like a UFO thing. I think it all depends on your own personal experiences. Everyone has different experiences, everyone has different views. And it's more and more leaning towards the supernatural for me, to be fair. I'm pointing the camera there because the cat ball's right there, so if that goes off, and then we have a presence. It went off for Andy. He heard footsteps coming there, running up here, and then that went off. So that's, but he's filmed it, so you'll see that on his solo vigil part. Andy's all about getting stuck in with the equipment and all that. I'm more about having a leisurely stroll and just using my eyes and my ears and my senses and just doing a bit of the history. So I'm hoping that we give you a little good variety between the two of us. And we're not repeating each other what we're doing different stuff. So we're going to come back to this area now, regular times of the year, different seasons, and just see what we get. Because those shocking noises that you saw at the beginning of this video were in July last year, at between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m, the time I was talking to you about before at the well house. So who knows? I mean, this side of Winter Hill is what I call the dark side of Winter Hill. Winter Hill, Lancashire, if you want to Google the map. Bolton, Darwin, Horwich, Rivington, it's all considered Winter Hill. This side of it is very dark. There's one lane that runs from Bolton all the way up towards like where Horton Towers is. You've got Tock Holes and Abbey Village and Belmont, and this is the side of Winter Hill that I call the dark side. There's nothing much here. I mean, you get the odd scattering of houses here and there, and then it's just barren. Got the odd farm, that's it. There's nothing else. So, definitely we need to continue this investigation further. And we need to get back on the Dogman thing. So you're going to be seeing some more of this Dogman stuff now, because it's not just this location. There's other locations, all dotted around different parts of Winter Hill, where people have had sightings, and people have been very frightened. You know, people have been walking dogs in the evening and seeing something black running along on two legs, and all kinds of different people have had eyewitness accounts. And some people are so scared they don't even want to come on camera and talk about it. So, besides doing the paranormal and the abandoned, we're going to get out and do some more of this Dogman in this Winter Hill region, because it's becoming more and more famous for rare sightings and unusual things. So we'll leave it there, and thank you all for watching, and many thanks to all of our subscribers, and we'll see you very soon. Dogman Part 2, where we're going to get the fire pit going. So take care, love you all, good night.
Well, that wasn't quite what I was expecting, but that was weird. I mean, I couldn't get the blasty desk box off to here, and then as I moved away, cat ball went off and everything, so I didn't quite expect that there. I was so I think what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to sit round and have a look, get the thermal out, and just have a scan round, because it's pretty dark here and I'm outside, so there really shouldn't be any sort of heat source. So it may be a bit dark, but I'll get the thingy out and we'll have a look. Okay. That made me a bit jumpy, that. But it's what you do it for, innit? This is what we do. This is what we do. We'll get that back out. Took a bit, weather's changed a bit now. It's a bit damp, but yeah, I mean, let's see whether it'd be interesting if Alison gets anything similar down there. As you can see, there shouldn't be any sources of heat anywhere around here. I do apologise, I'll just give the sorry about the finger. Oh, it's just cleaning the camera. So there shouldn't be any heat sources. Now, interesting to see if we do. See, that's what I couldn't understand when I was up there, why it was giving heat. Because it shouldn't really be any sort of heat source. If there's any spirits who want to make themselves known, I know we're here for the so-called Dogman. But any other presence? Yeah, that's what I couldn't understand up there. That's I mean, that's what I couldn't understand up there. I shouldn't be getting a heat source up there. But let us know what people think about this Dogman, cryptid, wild animal thing. I mean, there's too many sightings. There's too many genuine reports of this. What do people think it is? Do people think it's a wild dog or what? I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Until that time we came up and heard them barks, I was quite sceptical on it. I wasn't taking it seriously, but I've watched a lot of programs you know, another YouTuber called Mick McLaren, he is very knowledgeable on it. Him and his Winter Hill investigation team come out all the time in these areas and they're doing it, and they're speaking to people who've had sightings as well, and it's just something that you just don't know, do you? You know, I can't explain what those noises were that night. Yeah, I mean, at first it sounds like a dog, but when you've got two things literally not speaking to each other, but making noises to each other, and one was well in the distance, and as I listened to it, it sounded more ape-like. But that night we were genuinely scared because we knew where the noises were coming from. We had to go to. Now, if it had been somebody with a dog, you'd have heard them calling for the dog, or they'd have had torches, because you literally cannot. Without a torch, you'd break your neck down here because you couldn't see. But when you've watched that first bit of this video, let us know what you think it is, or what you think, because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh God, I'm hearing things. It's, well, I don't know what you think, because I think towards the end it's not a dog. It's not a dog, and we were freaked out at the time, and we probably should have kept the camera rolling, but we didn't know what it was, and we didn't want whatever it was or ever to know we were here. But it was genuinely scary, you know. Yeah, it is a haunted place, this area. I mean, there is another bit further down, they call the Haunted Woods, and they've had a lot of sightings there, and a lot of, I mean, we found some strange footprints that we couldn't identify, and I know I've had quite a few people I've worked with, and other people have looked at them and gone, we have no clue what those footprints are. You know, 6 toes, very, very deep, very, very heavy thing. So, I don't know. But I'm going to have a bit of a look round anyway now. See if we hear anything, or... yeah. The thing is, with this sort of thing, it's like... I know this is probably very dark, you know, but... you don't know. I mean, what makes me wonder is what and I don't know. I mean, what would you do? I mean, can people let me know, comment of what would they do if you were confronted by something like this? What would you do? Who would you tell? Would you tell anybody, or would you? I mean, what would you do? And this is what the thing is. You don't know if it's wild animals that have been, you know, kept as pets. You know, these Black Panther sort of things and things like that people had in the 70s, that, you know, they had in the homes, and then they've just let out and they've bred and they've learned to live in the wild, and they've learned to live with us. Then we need to be being told. You know, there are stories that people have found dead, you know, wild animals like that, you know, panthers and things like that, and people have reported them, and basically government vans have turned up, disposed of the animal, and the people have been told, you don't say anything, you never seen this, you don't say anything. You know, we need to be told about these things, you know, because we need to be knowing what we would do in a situation like that. What would we do, you know? And I'm just, the government are keeping too many things from us, you know. We need to be told. We need to be being told about these things. We need to be being told, you know, because it's all right. I'm saying, oh, you don't need to. Well, we need to be being told about these things. We need to be being told, you know, and people who are watching agree with us or not. You know, we're out doing this thing and we're looking for this, you know, and I think to myself, what if I did put up footage and I did capture something on camera, you know, alien or cryptoid or whatever? Would I be visited? Would I be told not to, you know, to get rid of the footage and stuff like that? I mean, you do think to yourself, because it's been well known that people have put videos up of aliens and cryptoids and things like that, and then they've had a visit from people who've told them. And why is it people I've known have had sightings, UFO sightings, and people have videoed it, and lo and behold, you cannot find those videos anywhere. And this is... Why is there such a conspiracy over it? You know, there's people out, loads and loads of people who are out searching for stuff, and they need to be told. We really do. You know. But people need to be being told about these things. You know. But that's the end of my rant. Dogman hasn't appeared tonight to us. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but anything that we haven't seen, or we don't know who's seen, can you let us know in the comments below? Thanks a lot, and we'll join you on the next episode of Spiritual Encounters on the search for the truth.
Okay, so let's continue with the thermal imager a bit longer.
Because it will pick up, if it was the water or the banking, it will be picking it up now. And
Yeah.
I'm not getting any heat to it whatsoever.
Alright, let's take a walk through the woods and see if we get any other heat sources anywhere else.
I pick anything up,
Yeah. So we haven't heard any strange sounds down here tonight, have we?
No,
But like, you're not going to get it every time. You've got to be in the right place at the right time, really.
like I've said, you remember that episode, I can't think of what programme it was, Expedition Bigfoot,
Yeah.
when the girl was on one side of this banking and she was picking up a figure on the thermal imager, a definite figure,
Yeah.
and when she shone the torch there was nothing there, but it was still on the figure.
Yeah, she did.
And somebody went over and they couldn't see anything, but she was still picking up, and she kept saying to them, it's there, and it was a clear figure,
Yeah.
but she couldn't see anything. So I mean,
Well, it just makes me think, is it cryptoid? Is it just materialising? Is it being brought here by UFO and it's just materialising wherever it wants to do whatever it is that they're doing? You know, are they looking to see if they can survive here, or are they taking samples for their own planet, or, you know, whatever it is that these UFOs are doing here? They're obviously not out to cause us any trouble, because they'd have done that by now.
I mean,
They'd have wiped us out and took us over if that's what they wanted. And they haven't done, so I'm presuming that they're all like scientists, or, you know, from a different galaxy.
Whatever that was is as warm as your face.
Really?
Your face is on this.
Yeah.
You can see it's bright red, it's very hot heat spot.
So it's the same kind of heat then. So we're talking like 35, 40 degrees then.
Oh yeah, let me, I'm just going to put it
Well,
on.
the body temperature's 37 in it, so it should be...
And it's picking up, your face is 30 degrees.
Yeah, which is about right. Out in the cold it
The
is
minimum
anyway.
temperature on here is minus is not 0.0.
Yeah.
It's cold.
So I don't know why we was getting that on the other embankment.
That was about 33 degrees.
Let's-
Whatever that heat source was.
Let's film the thermal imager where we heard that groan at the top of this path here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep it this cool.
Because I'm starting to have different theories about this now. I used to think Dogman was like some kind of werewolf that has survived through the centuries, you know, because they've been around a long time, lycanthropy and all that. But I'm beginning to wonder now if they're not being brought here and we only see them occasionally. Like, you don't see them all the time. Like, people don't encounter them all the time. But they've definitely been sightings all through the centuries. There's old paintings depicting werewolves and dogmen, and some of the old classic novels, like I was saying on the last, I think Dogman shoot we did, Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe, right at the end where he ends up in the French Pyrenees. He describes these two-legged wolves that are part man, part wolf. And that was written in like the late 1600s, so they've had a knowledge of these things for centuries. And we're still getting stuff today. And how is it they can live on Earth and never get seen or actually captured or caught? So obviously they're coming here intermittently, aren't they? They're just coming and then going and being able to disappear. Now it was up this corner here where we had that noise that night. So film around these shrubs and this clearing where the logs are and see if we get any heat sources here. Because this is where we heard that groan that night. It was right about here and we legged it. It was so scary. You can't even ask out. Is anything lurking in this woods? Would you like to come forward? It's like Little Red Riding Hood and Grandma, isn't it? And then that story. You wonder where that story come from.
It's probably a bit of...
Little Red Riding Hood and the... So you've got to think there's animals and everything. There's rabbits and there's... Spring's coming now. We've seen some rabbits, deers. So it was just down there, weren't it? There's some lights in the back, guys, from the road. So don't mistake that for odds or anything like that.
No, I'm not getting anything sort of time.
So it was just... The thing is, what if something's been lying there and then gone and left the heat behind? You know, like what if something had been lying there?
But that would only last for maybe a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
That would have actually been something there permanently. It looks like something little stood up but had been lying there, and it...
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we couldn't see anything, so it's obviously in another dimension if it's there. But how's it giving off a heat source if it's in another dimension? That's what I don't get.
I can't explain that. I can't explain that at all. I've no...
Well, I am beginning to think that these cryptoids are interdimensional now. Do you not remember that message we got when we were up on the tops doing UFO stuff? And we also got it at Pendle as well. We weren't doing UFO stuff, but it's something about interdimensional beings. Can you remember what that message was? That was really, we had to Google it to make sense of it.
Communication, something like that.
Yeah.
Something communicate. But
we got it at Winter Hill when we was doing the UFO, and then we got it at Pendle when we was just doing regular paranormal stuff.
thing is, it wasn't even the water. It wasn't the water that was hit. It was on the embankment. Yeah. And I don't know.
I have no idea why that would show a heat source.
I'm not, for the life of me.
No, I don't know.
Get what that is. That heat source. But I'm glad we got that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes things like this, there's no point in using the spirit box or whatever, because you're not going to get.
Not if it's something that's living.
That makes you wonder, from what we've heard, what the hell was that? Was it paranormal? You know, was it paranormal? Somebody who's died there and was, but actually I don't know whether something paranormal will give off a heat source.
No, I don't know.
I'm not too up on that, but
I'm just going to film back a little bit in case we get any eye shine or anything like that. Sometimes you never know. Cold. Yeah. Last time we got eye shine, it was two bright white torchlights, weren't it? And when we chased it, it was a young stag. I can't for the life of me explain that one. No, I can't. I can't explain that. I'm not explaining that. Yeah, go this way then. Why don't we make a left and go that way? Because we're on an upper level now, but we're still in the woods. We're away from the stream, but we're up on a higher level now. So let's just see. You never know, do you? There's like a lot of dens and sort of places to get shelter around here, cover. And I'm thinking on a rainy night.
Probably bump into George, man.
You never know. We bumped into some very odd and strange people in the middle of the night doing this stuff, haven't we? I think the strangest has got to be the clown up at Ridgeley. The guy wandering about in a clown suit at 3 o'clock in the morning on his own with no camera and no phone and no people, no nothing. Out of all the strange things we've encountered in the middle of the night, like from the human plane, that has to be the strangest. I don't know what was stranger, the clown or the Dogman sounds.
Thing is, was he really a clown? Was it or was it somebody from the past?
Well, I think what baffled the 7 guys that were running down the stairs in fear said that he was alone, not filming for YouTube, not filming for TikTok or anything, just wandering about in a clown suit in an abandoned lunatic asylum at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, you can't help but ask the question, like, why, innit? No, why not, I suppose, but unless you're playing pranks on people or filming stuff, I don't see why. You know, anyway, yeah, talking aside, we do meet sometimes odd things happen in the middle of the night that cannot be explained, that are perfectly human, but still can't be explained. So we're still running thermal imager for another 5 more minutes before we finish, just in case anything should step into shot. Yeah.
That's just something that...
What we need to do now is get out between doing paranormal and abandoned, we need to get out and do different locations, Dogman again now. Because we'd started it off last year, and last year we did a lot of outdoor fire pits, but right now it's damp and we're getting rained off, so we're not going to do the fire pits till the weather improves. We've abandoned the fire pit mission tonight. And I sometimes think when you sat round a fire pit and, you know, perhaps get some sausages going and all of that, it could entice something to come forward.
Would they eat vegetarian sausage?
It's not that, it's just wafting the smell across, isn't it? We'll cook the vegetarian sausages for us, but them could slap on a couple of minute steaks for them in case they want to join us. You know what you're suffering from, Andy? Dysfunctional lycanthropy. It's called dysfunctional lycanthropy. It's when you've got this weird obsession with werewolves and wolf hall and wolfmen and wanting to turn into one yourself on a full moon. It's called dysfunctional lycanthropy. Well, if I had the choice of being a vampire or a werewolf, I would choose to be the vampire.
See, this is how I look at it. You're a vampire, you've got to go out every night, right?
Yeah, but then you've got to go through that pain and agony once a month if you're a wolf.
Yeah, but it's only once a month, isn't it?
I'd rather go out every night and suck blood.
Only once a month. I can handle that. I mean, I've go out once a month and it's a full moon.
Yeah, but it's all the pain and agony they go through when they're transforming from man to wolf. And what about that Hebden Bridge story? That was a lady werewolf. What was her name now? Hebden Bridge.
I know it's Eagle's Crag.
Eagle's Crag, Hebden Bridge, where a wolf was running through the woods and they chased after it and chopped off its paw, and then the day after the lady woke up in bed with her hand missing. So there has been there has been that one female werewolf that we know the story of. It's been quiet really on it tonight, apart from just the thermal imager. But you've got to be out here a lot to pick it up. You can't get stuff
Sometimes
to order, can you?
people expect you go out and you get loads and loads of stuff that you don't. But that one little thing that you pick up that's unexplained like that is worth it.
Yeah.
You know, you're never gonna. If people go out and expecting a full apparition and, you know, doing touch and grab and orbs and everything every time they go out, then, you know, you're not gonna get it. You're just not gonna get it.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up there then. Why are you getting something? Yeah, but it's a tree.
No, but trees aren't. Even the trees aren't doing it. So that
Okay.
cancels out. That cancels out that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's to be to continue, isn't it?
Anybody any clues on what it could possibly be? I don't
Yeah, it's
I
to
don't
be
know.
continued, definitely.
Yeah. So
So,
I don't know.
we're going to be doing a lot more of this Dogman stuff, guys, but we're going to be going out to different locations around Winter Hill, on the tops and around the foot of Winter Hill, where people have had different sightings and different encounters have been reported. Once again, thank you so much for joining us and for subscribing and watching us. Thank you for Cornwall Paranormal for supporting us recently, and everybody else who's recently joined the channel and subscribed. We will get back to you if you leave a comment.
appreciate it a
And thank you very much. Take care, everybody. We'll see you very soon.